right, guys, welcome back. This is part 7 of breaking down Mike Bickle's emails to Jane Doe's husband. I am a trauma therapist specializing in narcissistic and spiritual abuse. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Okay, let's get into it. Where we left off last time was Mike really kind of, unveiling those threats of sure would hate for those emails to find their way on the internet. But anyway, in addition to that, we talked about narcissistic personality styles, collecting testimonies of people's love and appreciation towards them, not only because it bolsters their own sense of self-esteem, but so that they can come back around later and use these people's words to exploit them. So anywho, we are starting towards the bottom of this page with the sentence that begins, I will send. I will send you an email after this that 50 plus IHOP leader got some years ago. It is an email with my favorite prophetic dreams. Here is Doe's part of that email. December 19th, 2012. I'm guessing that is Jane Doe's prophetic dream about Psalm 89 for Mike Bickle. Okay, pause. I just don't even have appropriate clinical or non-clinical language to express how I feel about the kind of person who, in response to a husband and wife who are bringing accusations against them of severe and long-standing clergy sexual abuse with what is indicated to be multiple other victims, for their response to be one like this. Quick recap. Mike has insinuated so far, I know multiple people who don't like you and are going to be ready to speak out about you. Essentially, no one's going to believe you. And here's exactly how you can remedy this situation. And if you don't remedy this situation, I'd hate for those emails to get out. I could never be mad at you, but those with Satan breathing on their necks, which, Mike, even if that's the case, get a grip on your people. You know what I mean? Take a stand against the people who have Satan breathing down their necks. Nothing that you're saying is adding up even to the kind of character that you think you're trying to put out there. But okay, anyway, another thing for another time. The point that I'm trying to get at is he has said all of that. It'll hurt our families. It'll hurt our ministries. All of these bad things are going to happen. And also, here is a really nice and doting email that you wrote me 11 years ago. Let me go look for it and put it in this email on the same day that he's met with the husband. Anyway, I need to take a breather. Just all of that manipulation, but then to go digging through your inbox and go back and pull up these words. And I also want the record to reflect, I can't definitively say this, but I'm pretty sure Mike is the one who is bolding and underlining all of these things, because that's what he's been doing throughout this letter is bolding and underlining the things that build his own case. But okay, here we go. My dream opens up with me, Jane Doe, I guess, talking to Mike Bickle. Our conversation is warm and friendly, but suddenly turns into intense. In the dream, I place my hands on his shoulders and say, you are the chosen leader of this movement. You are the most righteous man. God has made a covenant with you. I begin quoting Psalm 89, verses 19 to 28. I had an understanding that God made this covenant with Mike Bickle and Mike Bickle with him in 1997 and 1998. And guys, remember, Paris incident unfolded in 1997. And that it was all related to FOTB. I don't know what that acronym stands for. I prayed with authority. His covenant he will not break. He has sworn by his holiness. You are David, and he will establish that which he promised. You are his chosen, and you are the righteous leader he has chosen. I had weight in my words. As I was prophesying, it was like prophetic intercession, like you were transitioning into something new related to this covenant. The other specific phrase I quoted was verse 27, I will make him my firstborn, the highest of the kings of the earth. There was tremendous attack coming against Mike Bickle and his covenant with God, like David. I woke up with tremendous presence on me. I felt like I wrestled through the night because the dream was so intense. It felt both great light, but also the powers of darkness that were against Mike Bickle. Every time I spoke about this covenant, I felt the authority of God coming against evil assignments. Pause. Okay, I think like 99.999% of us can be like, this literally means nothing in terms of like Jane Doe giving credence to Mike Bickle's character, like him being above the law. However, because it's very evident that Mike really thinks he's like got something here, my best guess is that there are going to be others within the community who are very like bought into like Mike's words and the prophetic history and dreams and visions and all of that. We don't have time to go into the details about like mind control tactics and what happens in a person's like brain and neurobiology and thought content. If you don't believe me, let's just take this email as exhibit A. So we've already got, I know we haven't even talked about this, but we've got a ton of gaslighting. Gaslighting, I hope to go into in more detail in future videos, but the short definition of gaslighting is causing a person to question their own sense of reality, their own perceptions, thoughts, feelings, etc. Essentially, Mike has already said like, hey, there's a right thing to do here and a wrong thing to do here. And if you do the wrong thing, you're partnering with Satan. If you do the right thing, you're partnering with God, which looks like doing exactly what I want you to do. And here is exactly how to fix it. And here's exactly what you could say. Here's exactly what could/will likely happen if you speak out against me. Here are some reasons why there are some very angry people who don't like you and are ready to speak out about you. Here are some reasons why that would be detrimental to our families and our ministries. Here's why I will likely have to withdraw financial support. Here are the receipts of the kind things that you said about me 11 years ago, basically saying that I'm the God man. So, and you know what? I would kind of look at all of that in summation and be like, this is the exact evidence that we need that there is some cult-like behavior here, narcissism, psychopathology, and brainwashing and mind control tactics. Jane Doe, if this dream is legit, if this was something that she sent to him, there are a zillion explanations as to why she would be having dreams of this nature. Like, y'all, like there are other explanations other than God giving her this dream to give her reverence for Mike. I mean, this is all they were putting in their heads day and night, night and day, loving Jesus, worshiping Jesus, and Mike Bickle's teachings. You know, I had really high hopes of like making some ground and working my way through this letter, and I have just not used my time in the way that I thought I would. But I feel like it's worth noting that there are many reasons why Jane Doe might have had that dream. If the dream is, if what Mike is sharing is accurate. But the least likely of those scenarios at this point is that she reveres Mike as a God man and that she fully aligns with that interpretation of her dream. Some dreams are just our brain and our body's way of processing what is going on in our daily lives and/or what is going on in our subconscious. Because Mike Bickle was in Jane Doe's ear with his dreams and prophecies and revelations and interpretations of scripture day in and day out for years at that point. This to me speaks more to mind control and brainwashing than it does to somebody who is sharing a dream that speaks highly to their leader and their leader's character. And for Mike to use it and abuse it and exploit it as such is disgusting, but it is turning out to be very on brand. I do believe that some dreams do come from God, and because I personally have experience as someone who underwent charismatic spiritual abuse, there was a great untangling of the kind of experiences that I had. Which ones were God? Which ones were a result of my abuse? And I'm still figuring that out. So with that being said, I won't speak for Jane Doe what her current interpretation is, but I think it's safe to say that it might not be in favor of Mike. Okay, thanks for listening. I'll be back for part 8. Thanks for bearing with me.